Yesterday, Arsenal stayed perfect at the top. Sporting stunned the defending champions, and Bodo Glimt scored an upset for the ages. And today, the Stars and the underdogs need to step up once again. So if you love high-pressure football, then this is certainly a good day for you. The Stade Velodrome is always a cauldron of passion, and today is going to be rocking for the visit of Liverpool. Marseille are 3 points behind the Reds in the chase for a top 8 spot, so neither have any margin for error tonight. Over at Stamford Bridge, Liam Rosigne leads Chelsea for the very first time in Europe tonight, pushing for a top 8 spot. The Blues can't take anything for granted against the Minnows' Paphos. And in Turin, Juventus host Benfica, with both of them looking for precious points to ease their elimination worries. So, on this penultimate match day of the league phase, there are high stakes and big names in play all over the map. That includes in England, in France and Italy, plus in Germany. Bayern Munich can clinch their spot in the top 8. Another European giant, Barcelona, are away to Slavia Prague, and the 2 early games are taking place way out east. Over in Istanbul, Galatasaray host Atletico Madrid, and in Baku, Azerbaijan, Carragher play Eintracht Frankfurt. It is, in fact, the second half in both of those early. And with that, everybody, a very warm welcome, everybody, to the podcast world.
Before I get
yes,
slapped.
let's all do it. We all know what happens. Good to have you with us here on the podcast world's favourite football studio show, hosted by me, Kate Scott, also host of the Emmy Award-nominated Kicking It, available for you on your CBS Sports Golasso YouTube channel, everybody.
Wow.
Make sure you tune in. I'm sitting next to an Arsenal legend and one of the most popular guests on the world-renowned podcast, Diary of a CEO, with Stephen Bartlett. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a fascinating interview, well worth the 2 hours. Then there is Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher, who has also been a guest on Stephen's podcast. More importantly, he'll tell you he is part of the award-winning and wildly popular podcast Stick to Football, alongside football legends Roy Keane, Ian Wright, Jill Scott and Gary Neville. And then finally, well, Stephen may not have found him interesting enough for an invite, but how could we not mention the host of the 2025 Broadcast Award winner for Best Podcast, newly signed to Netflix? Is Jamie right and nobody's watching The Rest is Football? Or is he just jealous of the shine and the accolades of big money? Yes, who knows?
Interesting! Award-winning. Say again, Kate. Lovely. Award. Have we won an award? Yeah, Broadcast Award, mate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well done. Lineker's mates.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, ridiculous. It's just number
Mike,
one. Just
you
number
had a bad night last night. Manchester City losing to Bodo Glimt. I guess it makes us wonder tonight. Liverpool, high stakes. Could you endure a similarly difficult night, Jamie?
I think it will be a tough game. I think it will be a tough game. I'm able to contain my emotions as I normally do when Liverpool are playing. But yeah, you know, I like the look of the team, but it will be a tough place to go. It'll be a tough game tonight for Liverpool.
Jamie and I were talking before. We recorded an edition of Kicking It, the podcast. And
Where's
Jamie,
that in the charts?
we're not in the same charts as you. Anyway, Jamie told me that the morning after a Liverpool loss, his stomach still hurts. Like, he can feel it in his stomach. It's still sitting with him.
Really?
Yeah. Are you like that with Arsenal?
Are you like that, TT?
Wow. No.
No?
No.
You're shaking it off?
I have to. I had to in the last 20 years. I would have been in pain by now.
Is that a new suit, TT? You're looking mighty fly today.
You like it?
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It does look new. French, Italian, what are we wearing?
Kate's in pyjamas again.
But
It's not pyjamas. It's not pyjamas. I thought this was quite a fancy look. Satin. It's all matching.
No, you had one for the podcast.
I did, yes. I didn't change. Apologies. Some of us don't have such an extensive wardrobe, Jamie.
I know, because you've got to pay first-class flights to get you over here.
Not first class, actually. Business for me.
Business.
Might be someone else at the desk who gets first class, but it's not me. Anyway, let's talk about Marseille, because it's a passionate place, and you're going to see that tonight with Liverpool in town and 3 very crucial points.
Get me there. Get me, Kate.
Come on.
I'm telling you now, let me go there. I've been to Paris. I've been with the PSG fans. Big meets in Marseille.
All right, we'll talk about it in a second, but Guillaume Balaguer has been over there in the city for us, soaking up the atmosphere. Let's listen into what he's thought.
First time you sent me here, I got fireworks thrown into my feet. And I got a bit scared and a bit upset because I thought, I'm working here. But also partly I just didn't get it. I've been here a few more times and I get it a bit more. Imagine this, Marseille, the town of 100 villages, where people worship different gods, where there is a dozen of languages being used. They think they're different to the rest of France. Well, imagine putting all that in the velodrome, in the same place, all singing the same song, and they all thinking the same way. And on top of that, imagine if you have a manager like Roberto De Zerbi, who describes himself as an ultra, who says he lives and loves football the same way as them. Well, if you're a rival, you know what you're getting into. You're going to be intimidated. Roberto De Zerbi was inside this stadium when he managed Brighton, and told his assistant manager, "Oh my God, I want to be the manager here." And he is, and things are going quite well. Runners-up last season in the Champions League, mid of the table in the Champions League table. So all that done with so much passion and intensity that they feel Roberto is certainly one of them. Passion can be good and bad in bad times, but it's definitely a special way to leave this game.
Oh, you sure, Micah? You sure?
Micah, what did you say he wants to be there?
The manager? I don't know. Oh, look, he's trying to do what I did. Look at me, come on, Guillaume. Get your own style, man. Yeah. That was really good, though.
Oh, it was good.
That was really nice. Yeah. But he said he wants to be a manager. I'm not too sure about that.
Traveling manager, team manager, managing the
No,
team.
not Guillaume didn't say he wants to be the manager here. He said when he was talking to De Zerbi, when De Zerbi was talking to somebody in the stands, the president, I assume, of the team, that's what De Zerbi said to them. Did I catch that right?
No, I think he said, I want to be...
No, he wasn't saying that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But I'm sure we'd back him if he was, anyway. It's a big game, isn't it, in the south of France tonight? There are others in Munich, in northern Italy, West London, Tyneside, and Prague as well. The aim, of course, for everybody this evening is 3 in a pathway to the knockout round. Stay with us. We're just getting started over here. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back, everybody. Well, world football's most prestigious club competition began as the European Cup. That was back in 1955. For the 1992-1993 season, it changed format and it expanded to become what we now know as the Champions League. The first winners back then were Marseille. Basel Boli scoring the goal in the 1-0 win over AC Milan in the final that gave them that trophy lift. In the 23 years since that win, though, Olympique de Marseille, to give them their full name, haven't managed to give their fans too many trophies to cheer about. But as you just saw, they do remain devoted. Take a look.
De toute façon, c'est la ferveur marseillaise. Ici, c'est comme la fièvre.
Sometimes Marseille is a bit too chaotic for its own good.
Alors c'est vrai qu'en Ligue des Champions, l'ambiance au stade Vélodrome est complètement différente.
Le stade Vélodrome n'est pas un stade comme les autres. Le mythe de Marseille s'est construit en Coupe d'Europe avec cette victoire en 93.
Marseille as a football club is always trying to live up to that legend and always trying to live up to their past.
À jamais les premiers, victoire en Ligue des Champions, mais depuis, c'est vrai que l'OM est toujours à la recherche d'un gros titre.
The mood of the city changes when there's a win.
C'est sûr que s'il n'y avait pas les caméras, je suis sûr que les mecs ils restent là et ils ne vont pas sortir.
Pour les supporters qui ont le sentiment d'à chaque fois tout donner dès qu'ils accueillent des grandes équipes en Coupe d'Europe ces dernières saisons, c'est magique, ça commence déjà bien 2 heures à 3 heures avant le match autour du stade.
Le match contre Liverpool ne te permettra pas d'aller chercher un titre, mais quand même, il y a la possibilité de montrer également à l'Europe et au monde la qualité de cette équipe et surtout la ferveur de ce public.
Tu es né à Marseille, ton équipe, après tu n'as pas d'autres loisirs. Le stade, c'est le loisir. Tu vois, tu es là, tu es content d'arriver avec. En fait, on est bleu et blanc et je resterai bleu et blanc jusqu'à ma mort.
It's fascinating to see all those pictures, isn't it? Thierry, having grown up in France, what would you add to what we just saw about Marseille? What else do we need to know?
It's not easy to add what they've been saying, but you know, I give you a little story. Obviously, being young in France, Marseille was the team. Obviously, the first one to win the Champions League, as it was called at the time when they won it. You know, when you think about Marseille, you think about, in my time, because Marseille wasn't always successful, but in my time, you think about Francescoli. you think about Papin, you think about Carlos Moser, you think about Abidi Pelé, Rudy Voller, Alan Boxish, you think about, Marius Trezor. I can give you so many names, Chris Waddle. I mean, those guys were outstanding, and obviously them winning. But when you think about Marseille as a French guy, the club is above everything. Nothing is above the club. Like the result of Marseille will dictate how the town is, how the mood of the town will be, because if Marseille wins, everyone's happy. They don't win, everyone is upset. And the stadium itself, I had the opportunity to score my first goal for France at the stadium, at the Vélodrome. It's very, if I can make people understand a bit more, maybe very Napoli-like. They love their club so much. Nobody is, people might debate that one with me in France, with Lens and Saint-Etienne, and now how passionate they are about the club. Paris has an amazing stadium. As we all know, the Parc des Princes is magical for me also. But Marseille has an edge in every sense of the word.
Mm. It was one of the major teams in Europe in the 90s, right? Is it a team that you kind of have enjoyed watching through the years?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I wouldn't say I have an affinity with the club the way I do a little bit around AC Milan when I was a child. They were the two teams at that time, late 80s, early 90s, sort of dominating the European Cup, and no one could beat AC Milan. And the only team who beat them was Marseille, but not just in the final. They beat them in another European Cup. I think it was a quarter final as well. They knocked them out there as well.
By the way,
they walked out when the lights went off. So that was sort of like the team at the time. You're thinking, English teams were in Europe at the time. So AC Milan were the team that everybody sort of looked to, and you think, well, who's this team knocking them out and beating them in a final? And it was there's some special players. You mentioned Chris Waddle, and that's where probably the affinity with Marseille started when Chris Waddle left Spurs to go there.
Sorry, can I ask you about that goal that he scored? What was the crowd like? Was it loud? How loud are we talking? Because you mentioned Napoli, you mentioned places like that.
First and foremost, that's where the flat.
Is that the first time?
I used to do that at Monaco, scoring goals. But Marseille is a special place, and when the crowd is on, and when that stadium is on, and at the time I played there, they didn't have a. It's not like they have a roof, but it was open. If there was the shape of a flower. The guy that designed it wanted to shape it as a flower, but it's very windy in Marseille. So now they covered it. The noise, the tifos, you're going to see the tifos and the atmosphere. When the stadium brings you places, that's exactly what the Velodrome does to people.
He's going to see when he goes, you mean, or what did you mean?
No, when we're going to show the pictures, the tifos, and what they have is always brilliant, always.
We're going to head out there over to Guillaume right now. You've seen him just before, where he did that piece for us, which you recorded for us just earlier. Are you it seems like you're beginning to enjoy the experience rather than feel fazed by it, Guillaume. Is that right?
That is the way, isn't it? That is the way. I think Thierry was hitting the head on the nail. That is the kind of thing you immerse in it, and then you experience a completely different moment. It's what the Serbia is doing. I met the Serbia on Monday, and he talked about the fans here being more important than the chairman. They're actually still arriving, and they could have filled the stadium twice, actually. He likes to remember him being a fan. That's how he experienced football first. And he talks to the players about that, about the fans here and how important they are to Marseille. Well, he wants three things to come from the stands to the pitch today: dignity, personality, and electricity. And I think he's going to get it. Let's see if he does so with a lineup that is put on the pitch today, which includes Pavard, the World Cup winner, the centre-back. There was a question mark about his fitness. He is in the team. Højbjerg and Kondogbia, strong midfield with Team Weah as well on the right-hand side. And the Algerian striker, Guri, will be next to Mason Greenwood. For Liverpool, Salah returns to the lineup for the first time since November, that defeat against PSV in Anfield, and he'll be on front with Ekitike and with Florian Wirtz, who is hitting form, 4 goals out of 6. It's 12 games unbeaten for Liverpool. Doesn't look like it, but these are two teams that could show a very good version or not so good. Let's see what we see tonight.
Could Micah handle broadcasting in those kind of circumstances, Guillaume? Has he got it in him?
Yes.
Would you rather we send Micah next time than you?
No, I'm enjoying it now. Oh, that was Greenwood.
We'll put you together.
Ask him if he wants Big Meeks. Does he know who Big Meeks is?
Trump. Greenwood.
Okay. Whatever he said.
Thank you, Guillaume. Good to see you.
What did he say then, TC? The guy. He said
Greenwood, I don't know.
Oh,
He just said Greenwood.
It's not French. It was just Greenwood.
It was just Greenwood. I can translate if you want.
Well, this time last season, Liverpool, you might remember, they were flying high at the top of the Champions League and the Premier League tables. Today, though, the Reds come into that game heading to Marseille, needing a result to stay on pace for a top 8 finish. We're going to talk about Liverpool, Arne Slot, and a whole lot more after this break. Well, this season, Liverpool's form has been a bit off, just like Jamie's rhythm, some might say. The Reds come into this game on a 12-match unbeaten streak, but since the new year, 4 of their last 5 have been draws, so we're still trying to figure out where and who are this Liverpool team. Let's get Jamie Carragher's opinion. They were booed off at the weekend, weren't they, after the 1-1 draw against Burnley. Do you share the fans' frustration with kind of the performances of Liverpool at the moment?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I can understand that. I think when the manager was in a run of sort of 9 defeats in 12 games, that's not acceptable. He had to stop that somewhere, and that's where the whole Mo Salah thing sort of blew up. But he has stopped the defeats. But the way he's gone about that has probably almost gone on for too long. You can accept that for the first sort of 4 or 5 games. It's not the Liverpool he wants, not the Liverpool we want to watch. But the most important thing is stopping the defeats, getting a few wins, draws here and there. But this is sort of carried on now for sort of couple of months, it feels like, and it's almost gone on too long, and it has to change in the second half of the season. There's a bit more energy and excitement about watching Liverpool. But what I would say is, in 30 years, and I was one of the guys who wanted, and we all do this on social media, it gets everyone clicking, so all Liverpool fans are going mad at it. He hasn't said that. You know what I mean? If you listen to the full interview.
In context, right?
Yeah, put it in context. So I get a bit frustrated on his part because he's very calm and measured in press conferences. He was like that last year, even when Liverpool winning. He's like that right now. And I think he deserves a lot more respect from Liverpool supporters for what he's done in his first season at the club. And it's not great at the moment. We all know that. But he should be given the opportunity and the time in the second half of the season to sort of get Liverpool, back on track. Because there's lots of things wrong with Liverpool right now. The makeup of the squad isn't right. The balance of the squad isn't right. Players who were fantastic last season are not playing anywhere near their level. And Arne Slot isn't having the season he was having last season in terms of making decisions and substitution. So it's not just on the manager. This is a collective why Liverpool is struggling this season.
Now, and does Arne Slot's position kind of inevitably get made more uncomfortable by the fact that Xabi Alonso became available, his exit from Real Madrid, and that kind of adds to this narrative of should they be looking to bring somebody else in to right the ship?
Well, that's not usually, as you usually say, that's not how Liverpool do operate usually. What's annoying when you're a manager is that when you're at a big club, it's always rumors that someone's going to come, apart if you're Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp at one point, because what you're bringing, the style of football, even though you're not on a good run, pleases people. If you go back, I think it was COVID time, when Liverpool were not winning after Klopp won the league, right? If I'm not... what was it, 6 defeats in a row?
6 defeats at Anfield in a row. There was no supporters in there, but there was...
But I'm just saying, the result was still there. No one complained and said that Jurgen Klopp should leave or not because they were happy with the style of play. What's happening with Liverpool, for me, I was expecting that last year. It's kind of weird. And if it did happen last year, the fans would have been more calm. Don't you think they would have said, "Oh, give him time to bring his team and his players"? The thing is, as you said, he did bring his team or his players, shall I say, and they didn't perform right from the start. I think that also, not only him, as you said, you have also the sporting director, but I do think that when a guy wins you the league, I'm not saying that he should get a pass, but you should be a tiny bit more, not relaxed, because it's Liverpool and the way it was before and the style of play of Jurgen Klopp, and that will buy you time. Sometimes when people can see a certain way of playing, I don't think that he's under pressure with that one. But yeah, Xabi Alonso is available and he's a Liverpool legend. You will say that, right? He's a Liverpool legend. So obviously people are going to talk, but I'm with Jamie. I do think that the guy is brutally honest, which I love at times. He never goes above or under what's happening. He usually tells you the situations. And you would like to think that Mo Salah is back, that everything's going to go back to normal. And some of the draws that they had since Mo Salah left, maybe if Mo Salah was there, he would have turned that into a win. They would have had more points and it would have been a tiny bit better. But I don't want any manager to be under pressure because someone just left and because of result or whatever. I don't think it's right. I just think that they can be a tiny bit more patient with a guy that won them the league.
Especially with new signings as well. I think Wirtz is coming to his own. Wirtz took a little bit longer.
From the reports I hear around the training ground, the way he is at the club, he seems like a sort of really grounded, no big ego. He wants to do well, so you'd almost want him to do well for those reasons as well.
Well, this is a big game tonight between Liverpool and Marseille. It really is make or break time in the Champions League at this stage of the season. Elimination is drawing closer for some teams. The knockout stages is drawing closer for the others. Tonight's certainly going to tell us a lot about which direction these teams are going in. We're going to be back with you in just a minute after a short break. Welcome back, everybody. Well, the Champions League window for moving on is closing in quickly. It feels like winning is just everything tonight, including for the teams in the two early games. We can update you on those because they're drawing to a close right now. Let's dip in, first of all, to the one between Carragher and all happened, and that game just winding down now. The other game, the other late game, or early game, sorry, I should say, that we're going to look at for you is the one between Galatasaray and Atletico. Atletico had gone 1-0 up. We're going to let you listen to the Galatasaray goal through the Turkish commentator, so here you go. Where does that put them in the table? Because they were hugely excited about that. Anybody got the table up?
Yes, the 16th. Yeah. Don't worry, I've got
16th? Okay, thanks, Micah. All right, everybody. Well, whether they are aiming high tonight or just trying to stay alive for the teams in tonight's games, winning points is what it's all about. We're going to take you around the grounds after this. Just a second ago on January 28th. So let's show you then very quickly how the table stands right now, heading into the late 7 games. Arsenal have not only clinched a top 8 spot, but they actually can't finish lower than second. They advance directly to the round of 16. In addition, you've got 10 teams from Real Madrid who are up in second place to Liverpool who are down in 11th, who are now assured of at least a berth in the knockout phase playoffs. Slide down the table, though, and you're going to see some of the biggest names in world football. In 15th place, 5-time champions Barcelona needing a win against Slavia Prague to make a big upward move. It is much more precarious for 2 other former champs. Juventus are in 19th. They host Benfica in 28th, with the team separated by just 1 point. You've got the Dutch champions PSV who are hovering above the elimination zone. They go to Newcastle knowing that a win would see them jump past the Magpies, but a loss would leave them in some serious trouble. Yesterday, you might remember Villarreal and Kairat Almaty, and those are the 2 teams that yesterday got eliminated, and now you can add to that from today Eintracht Frankfurt. And in the games coming up, Athletic Club have to get at least a point to stay alive, and for Slavia Prague, it's high stakes for them. It's either win today or go home. So, tonight, the playoff implications. And
I look at him there. I mean, for him to get this opportunity, I'm absolutely delighted for him. And yeah.
Do you think he'll do well?
I think it's going to be difficult for him because of the expectation of Chelsea. I think as though they're a club that are used to winning things. I think they've got to be realistic with their targets. I think a realistic aim for him.
Be careful.
OK, and meanwhile in Marseille, we've got a game with some serious consequences.
To the service, since I heard Pep Guardiola say that he's one of the few managers that is willing and capable of moving football forward. And he's doing it here with a mixture of misfits and veterans, internationals, and they all think the same way. They all play the brand of football, the courageous brand of football that he likes. But he's not only a very good coach, he's a good man manager. And proof of it is how he's treating Mason Greenwood. We all know the background of the accusations against him. His legal case didn't bring a conviction, and he's tried to rebuild his career, first in France and now here. He doesn't want to talk about it. Marseille don't want anybody to talk about it. Fans love it. You have to earn it on and off the pitch. And really, there's no shortcuts for it.
Right, Guillaume, but on the pitch, it seems like it's working. Does it, Thierry?
On the pitch, yes, very much so. Since he has arrived at Marseille, he's been brilliant. Everything goes in, obviously away from home against Madrid, taking the ball away, alert, putting pressure, putting the ball on the platter for Weah that scores at the Bernabeu. And that's what I'm talking about here. The run that he makes inside. Do not wait on the outside to get the ball in your feet to try to run past after your fullback. Just go at him and finish with your inside of the foot. Same here, always wanting to go to goal. He passes it here, receives it again. He goes on his right foot and finishes. Same here, always alert. You see how he did bend his run to make sure that he wasn't going to be on offside. Cuts back with his right behind his leg and curves it with his left. Stay inside, he's looking at what's happening, ball's gonna come, one touch finish, bang, with his left foot. This one is the one that I like the most because usually you see a lefty here receiving the ball where he's gonna receive it from Weah now. He would have gone on his left foot if you're a normal lefty. He takes it with his right, one touch, straight away, bottom corner, and I love this one. Step over, bang, see you later, bye-bye, bottom corner, right foot, take a bow, son. He's been playing really well since he has arrived at Marseille.
But come on, we've got to talk about Timothy Weah. Come on, New York born, we're in the US. Look at him, fly, let's go. I know his dad was a legend, but it's about time he got a little bit as well. Look at the runs in there, little pace, perfect run. Whether he's playing up front, whether he's playing right back, whether he's playing right wing. This is what I like about him. Conviction the way he goes. He's not scared, makes something happen. Quality at the end of the cross. Again, we just float some bits and pieces. You mentioned Greenwood, but this as well, his composure in front of goal is a lot better. Really adaptable as well. And then making those late runs into the box. Now we're cooking. This is what we wanted to see at Juventus. Didn't quite happen for him. Now he's at Marseille. Jamie, go do your thing, baby.
Oh, knackered.
You're going to talk about Liverpool. We'll let you go where you want. What do you want to talk about?
I mean, Liverpool, they've got a tough away game tonight, and you look where they went away in Europe to Inter Milan and away in the Premier League to Arsenal. And you look at the possession in the first half, dominated by the home side on both accounts. Second half, Liverpool come into the game at Inter Milan 56% and 65% at Arsenal. And that's what Liverpool, I think, will have to do tonight to be a tough place to go, as we know, going to Marseille. We've just got a couple of clips from both games, and in the first clip against Inter Milan, Liverpool obviously win the game 1-0. Thank God, I was waiting for you there. But you see the whole midfield player, Gravenberch, as you get into the game, second half, away from home in Europe, become more adventurous. The left back goes forward, you hold midfield player, and Andy Robertson puts a great cross in, but the big thing to stand out is how many players Liverpool have in and around the box, and that will happen today at Marseille the longer the game goes on. As I said, Liverpool win the game with an opportunity. For me here, Gravenberch has got to go and drive at the opposition.